Alright, I'm full screening this. I can't remember who's fighting here, but it's a Blade Master deck versus a Genesis Fenrir Wiseman deck. The Blade Master deck is a lot of retire, and when you retire you get benefits. When you 420 Blaze it, the special ability is literally called Blaze. And then the Genesis Wiseman has like a one-turn kill combo, where you resand a guy a bunch of times while giving him power. And if we get to see it, I'll describe it to you.
Yeah. Now, are we expecting a one-turn kill combo? Are all Genesis decks this way?
Honestly, no. This is like the most popular Genesis deck right now because of the one turn kill combo. But really, Genesis just doesn't have a lot of stuff going on for it right now. They're getting a booster in set 10, but I don't really think much of it. It's got something that does things, you know, as they tend to, but it's very, you know, meh.
It's very meh?
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad by any means. Like, it's not, like, terrible, but it's very meh. Alright, can you see they're rolling for turns?
Yep. Do we have player names here?
I'm afraid not. I don't have the list of players who played in this at this time.
That's unfortunate. We need to yell at our tech guy then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, let's call it
Poor abusive guy.
Player yellow and player animax sleeves.
Sure thing. Looks like they're mulligan. Considering that looks like the Kagero guy kept 3 cards and the Genesis guy kept 3 cards, they probably have a full 1, 2, 3 ride chain. Not a literal ride chain of 0, 1, 2, 3, but you know, enough of one.
We all start with 0.
Yeah. The yellow ones are his stride deck, of course.
Of course.
The Kagero guy goes first. Looks like that's the 7K. Now, I'm gonna stop it right there. That's Sunny. That's the Light Elemental Sunny. He's a special perfect shield for Cray Elementals, which work with all clans. And if he was grade stuck, he could G-assist and not hurt himself as badly by discarding it.
Really?
Through draw.
Interesting.
Yep. So he took a damage. What's that?
What's the benefit of playing this guy now instead of anything else?
Honestly, I assume that this is the one grade 1 he has in hand. But a lot of the Genesis grade 1s, there's one that you do want in the soul, but if you don't have it, it doesn't matter. Now the fella Kagero player rode a grade 2 special for Blade Master. It kills things and gains power for it. Now the card that he damage checked is the Wiseman, who's part of his 1-turn kill combo.
Yeah.
It's a flying lapwing. Looks like he got a heal. He dropped a Twilight Arrow Dragon there. It's on boost, counter +1, kill something. Now we rode the classic Blade Master. And that grade 3 there is a 15k attacker, so long as, 16k, so long as you have more rear guards than him. Oh. Looks like he had a crit, and then there's a draw trigger. This is actually pretty bad for the Genesis player because his combo's there in the damage zone.
What chance does he have if he loses all his combo pieces early in the game?
He has a decent chance, but the problem is I don't think against the Kagero matchup is going to be pretty good, simply because the Kagero retires so much, and this combination piece for Genesis doesn't give him as much. Now that's a natural Fenrir ability when you stride Soul Charge 3, excuse me. So basically, the Kagero will just kill everything until he runs out of things to kill. Now, he showed tier, Soul Blast 3. Look at the top card, top or bottom. If you drive check not a trigger, you Soul Charge 3.
All right.
He's swinging.
Looks like it resolves.
Yep. What surprises me here is that he didn't use Fenrir's ability to get himself a free card.
And why would he not do that?
I'm not sure why. It's counterblast 1 a free card, basically. Well, it's counterblast 1 for a card to the field. And maybe there just isn't a good choice, but I know he's got Flying Lapwing in the hand and in the soul. So if you do that, a soul charge 3, draw a card, and if there's a copy in the soul, you get a counter charge 1, so it becomes free.
Right.
Now, the reason why it's a mistake is that he could have put out 2 cards and saved his starter, because I think the Kagero unit is about to snipe the starter through the Strides ability. Yep.
Yeah, there it goes.
It looks like he gave the on hit to the 16k attacker grade 3 on the right hand column.
Things aren't looking good for player yellow here.
Oh no, like not at all. He doesn't have a field. He did pull some pieces of his turn KO into his hand during the drive check, but I don't think that'll save him at this time. Looks like it's David Hemrick playing, but I don't recognize the other player's voice.
And David's on our right?
Yes. And I'm only guessing that he's the one on the right. Draw trigger. I couldn't see that. The Twilight Arrow. Now, I would take it at this point, because he lost the stand trigger, which is very important for his skill.
Right.
But then again, with the draw trigger, when you place the draw trigger on the Guardian Circle, you can soul charge 1. He did get a piece of his 1-turn KO from that.
So he's just hedging all his bets now for the 1 turn, because things are not looking good for him.
Right. And honestly, looking for the 1 turn ain't too bad, especially if he's not running Dreaming Dragon, which allows him to refresh his deck with his drop zone.
Oh, here we go.
Looks like he's going for Vanguard. That's Soul Blast 6. When you attack, look at the top 4 cards and put them on the top or the bottom as you please. And this is after David would guard. Yes, he's going for the 1-turn KO. Ooh. I don't know if I like that.
So why would he attack the rear guard there?
Right. I think he's hoping that he gets a trigger, and I think he's wasting his stand trigger in the soul early to try and guarantee it.
I see.
And the problem with that is that you know, if he doesn't get the stand trigger in the top 4 cards, he's, you know, shit out of luck, if pardon the expression.
Yes, but if he gets the stand trigger, we're going to see some real, shit, as you say?
Yeah, pretty much. But the problem is that David's only at 2 damage. This is David's game at this point in time. He had to really mess it up at this point. Looks like he's throwing down a 2-pass, which is dumb. Like, you never 2-pass Vanguard. I guarantee you that guy has a 2-pass right on top. 1. Oh, no, he's giving it. Oh, okay, looks like he's giving power. He's putting it into hand. Yep. But the thing is, he didn't get a crit, so it's not that bad for him.
All right.
So, it's almost painful to watch this for me. Because he gave up some advantage, and he revealed his abilities far too early.
Yeah.
And while he's in a problem, you know, he has that perfect shield in hand, the Light Elemental Sunny, which we saw earlier and I talked about earlier. So he's not in danger of the Blade Master killing him if he's smart. But
I think player yellow has a plan here. I think he sees a line that you don't see.
Maybe. Maybe he's got a lot more triggers, I think, than you know, he thinks. He might be going for the long game, which he does have the advantage of.
There we go.
Yep, yep.
There's that Sunny you're talking about.
Looks like you got a trigger. G-guard. Ah, you're right. So he's going to choose probably 3 stand triggers or something to put into soul. Oh. Now that grade 1 he chose does have abilities when it's soul blast.
Okay. And what would that do?
Basically, he soul charges a bunch and then gives power. So he looks like he set up his combo again. Fenrir's skill is after you soul charge 3, you can counterblast 1. When next time you soul blast, to pull one of the cards you soul blasted onto the field. So he's basically going to oof.
Oh, what's the danger that David's just dead here?
Well, you're like right now, provided the player doesn't mess up, the what he's got situated. He's going to he might have a chance to kill him. However, I consider that kind of unlikely at this point in time, just because David's at 3 damage and he hasn't had to have the guard that big. Now David did see a little bit of his nerdy face there. Overguard the Vanguard. So that could be a misplay to get him later on.
See, well, why is player yellow using dice here? What's he denoting?
Power. It looks like he gave 3k to his Vanguard and to Wiseman. It looks like he's doing it again.
Guys, this is gonna be a big attack then.
Yep, he's actually getting pretty lucky here. Like this is like when he G-guarded and caused 3 cards from his drop zone to be put into soul. That was a pretty solid case of skill. But at this point in time, I'm not too impressed by it. Like he's just happens to be hitting his combo pieces as he needs them for the final turn, if he can pull it off. The numbers right now is 20 if he uses it right, like the right hand Wiseman. Can you see my mouse?
Yeah.
This guy right here, he's going to be about 23k when he attacks. And this is going to be 20k. I'd actually, if I was him, would focus all on 1. But Kagero does have a unit that kills attackers during the attack. So he's probably preventing retire.
Right. He's just making sure something gets through and doesn't lose it all.
Yep. But the problem is that he can't bring that second one up above 20k, which is a 1-card defense. Alright, he's using the Lapwing. There should still be 1 in soul, so he should unflip a damage.
Yep, there it goes.
Mm-hmm. Now we put a card in hand, Witch of Grapes Grappa. She's pretty interesting in that she allows you to soul blast more. If you soul blast her, she soul charges too.
Does he need soul charge at this point? He seems like he's fully loaded.
Yes, he does. Each time one of those guys. Now, okay, looks like he did push it up to 9. So in other words, both of those comms are going to be 23. If he's doing it right. But basically, every time he has a Soul Blast 3. And so honestly, if he doesn't have a right amount, he might not do it right. But we'll see how he turns out. Every time one of those stand triggers is soul blasted, it goes to the bottom of his deck, and he can restand one of his units. He needs to put it at the bottom of the deck. Come on. Bottom of the deck. There we go. Ah, bad
Damage?
luck. Yep. Looks like he got a draw trigger. That boosts him to 16k. Defense. He's using the grappa. Getting rid of the lap ring. Right now, he's still in just 10k guard range.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of crushed a lot of the Genesis players' advantage. Oh dear. He might be in infinite loop state, which is hard to do with the cards, but you can definitely do it.
And how do we resolve infinite loops?
Basically, you take a look at them,
Mm-hmm.
and the judge says, okay, how many times are you going to do it? Well, I'm going to do it nearly infinite. They're actually quite rare, and there is a lot of fail states. But if this guy's done his loops properly, he should be able to pull it off quite well. Depends whether he can get any proper. Oh, sorry, no, I shouldn't say it's an infinite loop. Not this one, but it's a very, very powerful loop. You see that one card? That's similar to Witch of Grape's Grappa.
Yeah.
And he basically soul charges too. If he does it right, he can keep soul charging the. See?
The stand triggers?
Exactly. Until he runs out of the witches. I think it's Witch of Orange's Valencia. Bad luck, he didn't get a crit trigger or a trigger to put on his Vanguard. And that's game.
Wow, he looked really bad there for a second, but then, like you said, he just had that many attacks and just killed him.
And there's a couple things that hurt Dave here. First, he overguarded earlier in the game when he didn't have to. Right. Genesis is a deck that doesn't run many crits unless you're Regalia. But even then, you're still going to run a lot of other triggers. Regalia tends to run a crit stand mix. And it's of Genesis. But he also didn't get any heals, which would have allowed him to kill one of the attackers. And it doesn't look like he's running a card called Bellog, which allows him to kill things when it doesn't take damage.
Right.
Even though he did get that defensive trigger, it really didn't help him. So I think he prepped for it, but while they're shuffling, I'm going to go check on something. What did I need to check? I can't remember. Bellog, that's right. No, I've got some lying around somewhere.
So going into game 2 here, what do you think David's plan is?
David's plan should be much the same, but he should hoard guard better and sort of manage his damage a little bit better. It's obvious that the opponent isn't playing a solid crit series of cards with crit in it. But it's also obvious that David isn't running the defensive lineup that Kagero's probably shines best at. The card I'm referring to is Lizard Soldier Bellog. When this unit is placed on G, choose one of your Vanguards. Until the end of battle, it gets auto Vanguard. At the end of battle that this unit was attacked, if it did not hit, choose an opponent's Vanguard at tap and retire it. But the problem is that if he's able to stand it before the effect goes off, you can't kill it. But at the same time, there was instances where he could kill like the other one which was tapped, and he just didn't have the cards. He's probably not running the cards in deck. But I guarantee you he's running the Denial Griffins, which is the name of the G-Guard that can kill. It looks like a giant. Like, they animated it so poorly in the anime that people started calling it Denial Chicken.
And you're talking about the Flamewing Skill Beast Denial Griffin, right?
Yep. Looks like he started out with a perfect shield. That's probably a good choice. Assuming he had choice. Witch of Orange Valencia and a stand trigger. Looks like he got a heal trigger, no heal. Same ride as before. Now, there's a stand trigger in Kagero I don't think he's running that gives out a lot of power when you retire things, which I think he's missing out on because it's a great defensive trigger. I think he can run it in defense. Yes. Let me make sure.
There comes out card name.
Yep. Looks like he wrote Grappa. This is actually really ideal rides for the Genesis player. Unless he gets unlucky in guard, I don't think David's going to win this.
So there's no way, David, you can get this, you think?
He'd have to get a bit on the lucky side. Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh, there comes the damage.
Yep. One of the things about one-turn KO decks is that a lot of people don't manage their damage early. Sometimes it is valuable just to block as much as possible early on so that you don't have to take as much pressure later, but in hopes of getting defensive triggers. Also, David went first. Why did he go first?
Are you saying you should have went second to prevent this, or prevent the stride?
Yeah, to get the stride in first. So he could have killed his starter. If the Genesis player is smart this time, he'll put the starter into the soul so that he can summon out something for basically free. You're switching out the starter for something in the soul when you soul blast, basically. It's the best one they have. And it looks like you soul blasted one of his witches. Oh.
There we go.
Well, that's pretty nice. This won't be the turn he goes for the kill. It'll be the Vanguard turn coming next.
What can David do to stop that?
Have heals in hand and kill the cards.
It would be beneficial to kill the rear guards then?
Very beneficial. And it looks like he got a sand trigger. I still think the Genesis player is really misplaying by keeping his starter out there because the Kaguro guy can just snipe it. Snipe it real easy.
Maybe that's the point. Maybe he's using his bait to snipe to get his cards wasted.
Sure, but there's no real benefit to it. Like I think he had a flying lapwing in the soul sometime. You know, I'm not really sure why he didn't just pull it out. Yep. Just like last time. Thing is, this is such a mirror image of the first battle. It's you know, it just comes down to whether this guy can perf David. Then, it doesn't look like it. However, he can get cards from the drop zone into the soul.
Player yells, just rearranging his hand there.
Yeah.
Looking for the correct. Oh, here we go.
That's a no pass. Poor David doesn't get any triggers. If the Genesis unit player is smart, we'll just take it. Oh, G guarded. He's going to put those heals back, I'm sure. Didn't get any triggers. Pretty weak showing. I still don't know why he went stride second. He had choice. Oh, that's not Vanguard. That's Fenrir.
Now, tell me, Ben, does David have a chance here?
No.
Like right now?
Nope.
Can he stop this?
Only if he has heals in hand, and he didn't get any triggers last time. So, like, if he's drawing his heals, and he can do Denial Griffin, he has a chance. If not, sorry, friend.
No, we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
There you go. He's arranging.
Yep.
There we go.
Now, if he only does one, basically the Fenrir's passive skill is that there's an ability in Genesis called Revelation, which allows you to look at the top card and soul charge it if you want. And depending on the results, you tap a unit. He prevents the tapping of the unit and lets you look at the top two.
Oh.
But you can only soul charge one. And he's doing the same abilities as he did before. Not much else to say about this.
Yep. Here comes the boost.
Yep. That Wiseman's going to attack for 17. He'll probably hit, I don't know, 23 or so before the end.
6K plus.
Yeah, right now it's like we're just watching, paperwork now. It's not much for...
Yeah, player yellow is playing solitaire.
Yeah, basically. Like, it's not even like the interesting solitaire where there's a chance for him to fail. It's just a chance of how hard he wins. Like, my Blade Wing deck, it has... I play solitaire one turn. And it's a really long game of solitaire. But at the same time, at every step in the way, I have a chance of failing miserably and not getting any of my skills. Now, don't get me wrong, I made it very hard for me to fail, but the Genesis guy has even a less chance of failing.
There you go, that's 9K each.
Mm-hmm. Now that makes that grade 1 a 16K attacker, which is magic numbers, and the Wiseman's going to be 23K when it uses its skill. Otherwise, it's just 19, which is still good numbers. Oh, looks like he's playing some more solitaire. I think he's going to soul charge 6, maybe? Because the...
2, 3, 4, 5, 5?
6. So now it's 6. Now, Fenrir has a skill, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 3, draw a card, and he's basically using that to his advantage to keep up the soul. The more soul he has, the more stands he has. Well, I think he has 3 stands in his soul. Maybe. It's just hard to see from this distance.
Yeah. Now, what's going through David's mind right now?
It's just a long list of swear words. I mean, that's it. Like, here's the thing. Either David's confident that he has the heals in hand to kill that one Wiseman and live through it all, or he's up a creek without a paddle.
Oh, he's moving things.
Oh, the solitaire game's over. Take it, David. Oh, and here's an interesting play. He's actually standing both his units. Ah, the denial griffin. David might live this game.
But living's not good enough. He needs to win.
That's right. Just like everyone else in this world, he has to win to live well. But right now, he's the equivalent of like a veteran with one arm and PTSD.
Whoa.
Nah, man.
It's getting too real here.
Getting too real? Too real for this game?
Too real for this game.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
I want to go back to the world of griffins and...
Okay, no, I understand entirely. But what if his arm was bit off by a griffin?
I guess that's okay. That makes it better.
Oh, thank goodness. Got to get that levity there.
Of course.
Now,
there we go.
He's going to kill that one unit. Why? But he's either got a perfect shield or not at this point, David. The other guy said it's game, so I guess he doesn't have any guard. But, come on, David, give him the crit. Damn it, David.
Nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
He's only at 4 damage, though. Oh, he decked himself out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Alright, that's why it was game.
So is that a real
Okay.
danger for Genesis?
Yes.
With the constant soul charging?
Yep, just about as real as it is for Dark Irregulars. And Pale Moon and a couple other ones. Not really Pale Moon as much, though. But they have cards to take care of it. That's the thing.
Right.
Like OTT, Oracle Think Tank, is a clan that a lot of people deck themselves out before they lose. And people say, oh, we need a Dreaming Dragon so we can refresh the drop zone into the deck. But the problem is that they don't really do anything with it except draw cards.
So, player yellow,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't need to fear the decking, does he? Does his plan change at all?
Like it shouldn't too much. But the thing is that if he doesn't manage his deck, he's just a bad player. Like he's not experienced with it. Like I don't know who this guy is. He could be my best friend, and I'd still say, "Hey, man."
It could be you.
He could be me. Except I was raging with Dimensional Robos and getting Luxact and nothing in my hand. So that's a different sort of situation there. But no, he should have planned it out better. He soul charged way too much for. Like, when you face a clan that can retire on your turn, you kind of need to plan and assume that your opponent will have the ability to retire on your turn.
Oh, player yellow chose to go second.
Again, like it's I don't know why David. Like this time, it's not David's fault, but I don't know why he's going for the second attack. It's just strange to me.
Just giving him fuel for his stride.
And it looks like he lost 2 pieces of his combo.
Right, 3.
I don't think much of this Genesis player. He's obviously just relying on his 1-turn KO and not actually developing a strong deck outside of it. Like Wiseman Loop still has a few adherents, but it'll be just blown out of the water when set 11 hits, because Bladewing Sullivan will be a thing. And it'll have all the lovely, lovely pieces that we've been lacking so far that make it a force for the meta in Japan. Which it does a similar thing. 1-turn KO through a lot of soul charging and soul manipulation.
Right.
And getting certain cards in the soul. But, yeah. What this guy should be doing is rushing David so that he doesn't have a chance to recover and set up things. Even if he loses cards, he can still get them into the soul and then back onto the field with certain abilities.
Yeah. Well, he's finding something now.
Yep.
Is this a big attack?
No, he's just managing his soul charge. This is just really advanced solitaire. Come on, friend. Wow. That's good, though.
Heal there.
Like, they kind of designed Fenrir to do all the things he's doing.
Yeah.
But he's not... Like, it's kind of...
He's not the best at it. That's what you're saying.
Right. He's not being efficient with all his plays. And instead of, like, risking things dying... And I'll be real clear, like, the Kagero player does not get any card advantage for things dying. He just kills them.
Right. 1 for 1?
Yeah. Basically, counterblast 1, kill something. He should be forcing the Kagero player to use more resources. But he's not. And, It's costing him. Like a starter in Vanguard's, pretty important. And if you don't use it right, it could mean the difference between life and death and whether or not various crit power, I think. Yep.
Yeah.
Between various, skills going off. And the fact that this Genesis player has so many draws is kind of like, eh.
There you go.
He's also overguarding. We'll probably see him make a big move and turn after this one, maybe. I think it's way too early to do it now. Besides the fact that the field isn't quite where he wants it. David still has a really big
nothing.
hand. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So tell me more about the Kagero player starter. Is that him there on the right?
Yes. He retired over it for something that gains power whenever he kills something. But the problem is that the Genesis player isn't giving him units to really care. And this guy's base power is equal to 5k. I think, yes. So it's not really an upgrade unless he is able to make the big plays. He's probably doing that because he's accustomed to do it rather than actually doing it. But this guy, whenever you kill something, he goes in the soul and you kill something else.
Okay.
Real simple, really good in certain builds, but in this case, he's not at his strongest.
Yeah. Player yellow just doesn't have any rear guards to deal with.
Yep. If I were him, I would have actually put the starter as a booster on something else, so that the rear guards have more power for my crit and draw centered attack strategy. Oof, heal trigger. That's not good. But I don't think he has much of a deck left. Looks to be about halfway. Yeah, I'd say it's about little under halfway gone. Or a little over halfway gone, rather.
Restanding his guys.
Yep. He's striding. He's going to kill that one unit he left out. Which, again, doesn't mean anything or do anything. He could be playing more units, making this more interesting for everyone. Is he?
Nope.
There's...
No, go on.
Right. So, here's how I would do David. I'm gonna pause this right here. Here's how I do David turn. I would kill the unit with his skill so that this Vanguard gets the crit. I would then play it and still put it out there in hopes that when he perfs the Vanguard, I could put some crits onto this guy and have a 26 plus K attacker here. Because he's not anything on defense, and if I can push him to 5, that means that if he has heal triggers in hand for Denial Griffin, his turn's just gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
You alright?
No, I dropped something.
That's fine. Is it a fidget spinner?
It was a fidget spinner.
I have mine away from my computer. I don't want to leave it for it. It's about a little $8 one.
Oh, nice. Is it heavy?
It's oh yeah, it's got a nice weight to it. It's all metal or plastic.
That's what I need
metal.
for the spinner.
Yep. Now, I don't really understand why he did the things he did. Looks like he healed. So that means that he can guarantee not be affected. Okay, he healed twice.
Oh.
He's good. David's going to be just fine.
Attack number 2.
Yeah.
Comes G guard.
Why is he the numbers that he is? Because it's... Yeah, whatever. The real question is whether or not this guy's stupid enough to make his final play. Because the thing is, even if your opponent has a perfect shield in hand,
Right.
and your skill can do things, if you can minus your opponent even slightly, it's still worth doing it, even if you don't get all the effects.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's Doombrace Angel. He can Soul Charge, Soul Blast 3 and give some things plus 5k. I don't really approve of what he's doing right now, but hey. I mean, it's not about my approval, but it's
Right.
It's just we're not watching good players fight here. But this is first round.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe he'll get all the skills he needs later on.
Yeah, but David has 2 Denial Griffins in hand and 2 Counterblasts. He's not going to die. Or if he dies, it would be so stupid. It would be just, oh.
It's very unlikely that David would die.
Yes, absolutely. Now, if I felt in a position I control the opponent, I'd actually not kill this one right here, so he has a useless column.
Yeah.
Everyone is pizza now.
No. That was my little brother asking me something.
Yeah, how does David feel about pizza?
I don't know.
All right, here we go. Something's finally happening.
Oh! Alright, guys, I feel sorry for the guy who went for his drinks. Ugh. He's gonna miss the best scene. No. This is a French art house film. He's not missing anything.
What are you talking about?
Oh, have you ever seen like a French art house or something like that?
Kinda.
They're so boring.
I think it's each his own type of thing.
Right, but I'm not even talking like in the sense of like explosions or anything like that. I'm just saying that like they don't do anything, and then they moan about love and stuff like that. And it's supposed
Isn't
to be
that the
telling...
point?
No, I mean it's
Yes, that's the point.
fine. It's the point for the love bit, but I'm talking about the sort of they're not doing anything about it.
Are you saying that's what Player Yellow's doing right now?
Basically.
Just not doing anything.
Yep. Because
But-
he's not taking into the consequences of his actions.
He's doing a lot of things, but they don't do anything.
Exactly. Because David is in a position to not die. He needs to be playing the longest game possible. As boring as it is.
Yeah. Well, he's
And I don't
burning
mean
most
by-
of his deck here.
Yeah.
He's
And
going
he's
for
just...
something.
Right, and if David's just going to kill it, there it is. And then he'll take the Vanguard, probably. Because this guy doesn't run enough crits to be threatening. If you don't run crits, there's always a chance that a player like me who understands probability will just take your Vanguard and laugh in your face.
Yeah,
don't
but
get
a
your
player
crits.
like you also takes my Vanguard, laughs in my face, and get critted 3 times and die.
That's true. That's true. But the thing is that I built your deck to do that. So he didn't even attack with his Vanguard. That is a huge minus.
What's the benefit of not attacking your Vanguard?
Not decking out.
All right, well, let's see here.
That's why I don't think much of this Genesis player. He could have topped 8 later and I wouldn't care. I'd still call him bad.
Wow, Ben. Or that shade.
Yep. All right, David's doing a bad play. He doesn't have counterblasts. David. Stop it, David.
Okay. Stuff's happening.
We wish. Because the Genesis player's at 3 damage. We're gonna be stuck here a while.
Isn't that what the Genesis player wants?
Yeah, but the problem is that he can't really rebuild his advantage engines until he knows David's out of heals.
Yeah.
Because
Because
David's just not doing it. There's also an advantage with the Genesis player not attacking and that David won't have any damage to work with. But the problem is that Gret 5, I think, is that David's he's just doing great. Like he's not in any advantage to suffer. Also, I need to figure out what that dragon card does. I thought I knew what it did. The ones over here.
In Kagero?
Yeah. Let's see, he was in the Revival collection. I was lounging. Now I have to actually sit up.
Come on, we're professionals here, Ben. You should always be sitting up.
Nonsense.
You don't have to wear pants, but you have to sit up.
Nonsense. Well, I wear pants, but I lounge like a Roman emperor. And if I had some sort of eunuch to put grapes into my mouth and fan me slowly with a palm leaf, you know I do it.
Did Romans have eunuchs?
Yeah, but it wasn't really a big thing. When this unit boosts a Vanguard with Blaze, boosted unit gets plus 5k. Alright, so it's a 15k booster to the Vanguard, and Blaze. Boosted unit gets plus 5k.
What's the name of that guy?
Dragon Knight Falel. I don't think that's how the guy works. I think David's misusing him. Because his first bit of the ability is when it boosts a Vanguard, it gets plus 5k. However, it also says the boosted unit, but it implies that it only boosts a Vanguard for plus 5k or plus 10k overall. So I don't know. Is he?
And his Vanguard does have Blaze.
Yes. His Vanguard has Blaze as soon as it attacks, and he has more units than you. Oh, he's trying it again. I really hope this is saving it. I don't know where to actually get the recording of this.
It'll probably upload it straight to YouTube.
Oh, good.
But back to Dragon Knight Falafel.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a plus 10k boost, right?
Yeah, to the Vanguard.
Yeah, it does nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. All right.
Yeah. And because David got rid of his starter, like he can't just wipe the field of the 2 remaining cards.
Yeah.
But it looks like the guy just didn't want to do his combo or something. I don't know. Maybe he was out of heals.
He's also running out of cards.
Oh no, he'll be fine. Card wise, if he's smart.
Oh, he lost one game to it.
Yeah, that's true. All right, come on, David. Come on, David.
Ben, we're supposed to be impartial here.
No, it's more of like don't make the stupid play. That's more of what I'm talking about here.
So back to the falafel.
Yep.
David's right falafel doesn't actually do anything.
Right.
I mean, besides boost.
Right. So it should just be a 5k booster, but he treated it as if it was a 10k booster, which means that he's not actually reading his cards.
Yeah. For a Vanguard, it's a 15k booster, including itself.
Yes, that's right. And that's a solid 41k, which is very, very good numbers. Because that's 4 cards at least, assuming no G guards or perfect shields.
Right.
For a 1 pass. Some rebel just kick some.
Here we go.
Come on, 41.
There's that boost, that 15k boost we're just talking about.
Yep. But the guy's at 2 damage, it looks like. So, what does he care? Oh, he said 14 this time. Why did he say 19 the last time? You know what? I don't know. I'm not.
Maybe he heard you. Maybe he heard you and just didn't want to get in trouble, so he fixed it.
I reached out of the past and dope slapped him.
Yeah, totally.
Or the future. I mean, that'd be hilarious.
His future, your past.
Exactly. Well, no, I think there'd be some like thing here with like some guy's master stuck in the past, but
Huh?
the master can still dope slap people from across space and time.
He controls both space and time.
Yeah, man.
That's OP.
He just like feels it, reaches out his hand into a black hole, slaps whatever's there, reaches it back in.
I don't think black holes work like that.
Wormhole then. Nebula? Whatever you'd like to say.
Interdimensional vortex.
Yep.
Say
It's a
that.
legendary interdimensional vortex fest.
Yeah. Oh no. That wormhole from Deep Space Nine.
Exactly.
That one. But only that one. Not any other wormholes.
Ugh.
All right. Player yellow's down to 5 damage now. 1, 2, 3,
4.
4.
Yep.
And
I'm
it's
not
blue
really
space.
sure how. I'm not really sure how he got all the way to 4. Like I just wasn't paying attention because.
Well, he took the Vanguard shot and it did 2 damage to him.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. But I mean, how he got from 4, which he was at 3. How did he go to
Yeah,
2?
he healed 1.
But David was at. Oh no, we're good. David was at 3, took a damage.
Yeah.
So the guy healed. All right.
We got this. We got this.
Yep.
All right, back to Solitaire.
Yep. Hopefully David has a heal in hand so that he can keep this up. There he is. Oh boy. It's the answer to everything. Honestly, the Genesis player has better odds decking David out than he has of killing him.
Does David have lethal now? I'm looking at his board and
He has a chance.
his player yellow has. I don't see any. I don't see any heals or perfect guards.
Looks like he has to waste another of his G guards. Now he should have saved it, but if he has to play it. Oh no! It looks like he was playing 3 and a screw you, which is a 25k guard.
Wow.
For discarding a card. So right now it's a 2 pass. He should intercept with his right hand front row for a 3 pass, I want to say. Or he could no pass. Oh, no, he's going for the 2 pass. But we're about to see the game. Oh, no, he's counting. But that doesn't matter because he's already shuffled his deck into his drop zone into his deck once.
Yeah.
So it's not nearly as impressive as you might think. So he no passes it. Draw trigger. That's the perfect shield's the real bad card to see. Like he just put a lot of triggers into his drop zone. Into his soul, but he put out the perfect shield into hand. So he'll be fine if he's not a fool. He might be.
David striding.
No, he was guarding that last attack.
Oh.
He'll be striding now. Really comes down to whether the Genesis player has a Dreaming Dragon in some location he can get it. Come on, David.
Yo.
What?
What's that stride?
That is Blade Master Titan. Counterblast 1, flip something else over. For every Titan in the G zone, you can kill one of the units. He could kill up to 3 because this is the 3rd time he's striding it. But if you have more units than your opponent, you do get a crit.
Oh.
But the thing is that this isn't the right play. There's a card called Novel Express, which prevents perfect shields, and they can't heal out of it. Which would...
Is he using it?
No, he's not. I'm saying that he should have used it. That should be a 26k attack, but it looks like he G-guard. And then And it looks like the guy's sending back exactly what he needs to play solitaire again.
But does he win?
That's a real question. But David's out of G-guards at this point. He has used all 4 G-guards, which means that even if he had some way to refresh heals back into his hand, he cannot do any more. You can use... like, you are limited to 4 face-up G-guards in the G-zone before you can no longer use them. So, in other words, like, you can be at 3 and then guard with, like, all 4 heals from hand. But you cannot, but as soon as they go into the G-zone, it's over. It's done.
Yeah, your out of G-guards.
Yep. Likely what we're seeing is the Genesis player setting up his field for another big turn. Not much to say about it. David's at 4 damage. He's at 5. Either he has the Dreaming Dragon or he doesn't. If the Genesis player has the Dreaming Dragon, he can refresh his build. Did he even stride?
I don't think so. I don't see it.
Yeah, looks like he didn't stride. I swear to goodness, if he tries to stride now. You're not going to do it. You messed up.
Checking time. It's 10:44.
Yep.
Time left in the round.
Probably around 5 minutes.
Now, there's no risk that players are going to go with time here, right? Someone's winning this turn or next turn.
Yep. And it's going to be David. Like, somehow David did it. Like, David did it just right there. Now, the Genesis player still has a Perfect Shield in hand. He can probably survive it, but if David has Elect Express, he does. He has Elect Express. He'll prevent a Perfect Shield from going off, and the guy can't heal out of it. I mean, like, he could, like, if it's the 6 damage, I think, or 5 or more damage, you can't, the trigger effects don't go off.
Right.
There's time. And the guy took the damage. No? Alright, they're good.
Yep.
Looks like the Genesis player just took it.
They call themselves Imagine Your Goddess. What a bunch of a-holes.
Hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. I'm hooked on a feeling.
Whoa, guys! Did you know that Imagine Your Goddess has its own web store? Check out all the neat merchandise. Ball scrolls, playmats.
Don't forget about the acrylics and the other goodies.
Oh, Helen!
Yeah, I'm here.
Get them in-store at the Stand-Up series. Or check us out online at our website, shop IYG.com. We're always adding new stuff.
Imagine your goddess.